Far beyond witches and wizards is the root cause of health problem of many in Africa. Seek professional advice concerning that your health matter.
Join Dr. Save a Life Foundation.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye. Now on AIT every Monday by 9:30 a.m.
You are still on You and Your Health. I'm Dr. Richard Okoye, and we are continuing with this series. We are looking at the issue of the prevention of neonatal and maternal mortality. And this time around, I want us to look into a critical section that we gear toward protecting our pregnant women. The level of maternal mortality in this side of the world is not acceptable anywhere in the world, and we cannot continue because majority of this has been ignorant based. We have been able to debunk the misinterpretation and the misconception following the issue of Hebrew woman delivery. And we saw in the Bible in one of our episodes that there is nothing like Hebrew woman delivery. And I share with you about the ugly trending news of a lady that that died. And he said, pregnant mother dies at childbirth because her pastor said cesarean section is a sin. Okay. So today we're going to look at some of this because majority of the deaths we have recorded is either because of one certain traditional or religious narrative. And that's why I want to beckon on you. Today is going to be a very big bomb. See, pick up your phone as we are continuing this very episode. Pick up your phone, invite your friends. Invite your loved ones. Just encourage them to tune into this very station as we're going to look into the causes of maternal death, also from the angle of what is called hemorrhage. Doctors call it hemorrhage, which is like bleeding. Are there certain bleeding a woman could have that will call for cancer during pregnancy, during delivery, and after delivery? Yes, a lot of them you will get to hear today. And I want you just to pick your phone, do that. I'll be right back as we look into this very detail. Operation Total Health through the power of knowledge and save more lives to achieve our goal, Vision 2025. The Nigerian life expectancy count 25 will be nothing less than 70 years. It's a reality.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye. Now on AIT every Monday by 9:30 a.m.
Welcome back. You are still on You and Your Health. I'm your friend, Dr. Richard Okoye. And today we're going to look at something. We have been able to deal with the issue of neonatal mortality. And neonatal mortality, some of the babies also claim to have been okay at birth, may have a brain problem where they're not performing optimally in school. We saw how it all happened. If you're not able to get that segment because of the time, I want you to follow us on Facebook or YouTube channel to be able to get some of this very health information, internalize them. You can save your family and your loved one also. So in today's edition, we are looking at 3 categories of bleeding that could happen in a woman that is pregnant. A woman menstruates every month, and it's expected that when a woman is pregnant, the woman should not bleed. All right? But there are things that could make a woman bleed during pregnancy. And the number one, in fact, they are in 3 categories. They call them antepartum hemorrhage, intrapartum hemorrhage, and also postpartum hemorrhage. It's a big grammar of doctors. What is saying that bleeding during pregnancy, and also the bleeding after pregnancy, during delivery, and bleeding after pregnancy, even up to 42 days, 6 weeks after delivery. Now, at this very point, I would like us to start additionally to bleeding that occurs at the early stage of pregnancy, which is also very critical. I want you to listen to this. To be in position to achieve pregnancy, there is a process. And that's one of the things I want us to have a look at here. This is actually what makes a woman reproductive system, as it were. And you have the vagina. Right inside the vagina, you have a place like the tip of the nose, you call it the cervix, and then you have the womb itself, and then you have the fallopian tube getting to the ovary. All right? Every month, a woman produces egg here, and you call it ovulation. And that ovulation, the egg is released and comes into this fallopian tube. If coincidentally it meets with the spouse at that particular point in time, the sperm drop in the vagina, enters the womb, and passes through the womb, and gets to the same fallopian tube. This is where the baby, inside this fallopian tube, is where the sperm and the egg meet to start a baby life. And that is what is called fertilization. All right? Very important to point out here that the issue that has to do with pregnancy, baby formation does not start in the womb. It starts in the fallopian tube. And you know what? That fallopian tube ought not to be the destination of this baby, because his number one is very tiny. What he does is a transport route, whereby after this fertilization, the baby is being carried with a kind of a roller, something like less of millipede, that's called cilia, and carry them and plant inside this womb, where the baby can now have a capacious space to grow and expand, and pregnancy can happen here. Be that as it may, there could be occasion where this particular baby that starts forming here, something may happen that it gets trapped in this fallopian tube. And when it gets trapped in that fallopian tube, something will happen. Conventionally, the baby has to grow. And in the first 1 month, the second month, the baby will keep on expanding, and all of a sudden, this very tube will start expanding, and lo and behold, if nothing is done, or that being dictated as early as possible, there's a possibility of this very tube burst out with the baby, as well as the blood vessel bleeding torrentially. It could happen. That's why it is important that when you get pregnant, it is necessary that after you do your pregnancy test, also go for ultrasound scan. What the ultrasound scan will do is to search possibly for a baby or a sac inside their womb. If the sac is not there, and in the same accord, the pregnancy test is still positive, something may be wrong somewhere. You can have what is called ectopic pregnancy. Pregnancy occurring outside the womb. This brings me to one funny thing that happened. I will share with you. Very interesting one. There happened to be a man who was suspecting the wife to be going out with one fellow, from East Africa, Ethiopian precisely. So he was suspecting the wife to be actually indulging on that, and all of a sudden the wife became pregnant. And while on that, she had this very problem, and the woman collapsed in the house. The neighbors ran around and carried the woman to the hospital. When the doctor noticed that it is ectopic pregnancy, of course it's an acute emergency, and he got the husband number and called him. Hello, sir. Your wife is right now on admission. They said, what's the problem? He said, their wife has a ectopic pregnancy. Immediately the man answered the phone. Bam! I know it. I know it will happen. Cool, okay? Cool, so no what happened. So the man now got to the hospital. He got to the doctor's office, and the doctors explained to him that, look, your wife has a ectopic pregnancy, and we require an issue that has to do an emergency surgery to save her life. The man said again, bam, I know it will happen, that God will expose her. Ethiopian pregnancy. This is Ethiopian pregnancy. And went to the woman while the woman was in pain. I say, I know, God will definitely expose you. Who is this Ethiopia? Tell the truth and shame the devil. The woman was saying, I don't know any Ethiopian. God bear me witness, I don't know any Ethiopian. My friend, listen to me. Hey, ignorance is a disease. It is not Ethiopian pregnancy. It is called ectopic. Ectopic pregnancy meaning pregnancy that happen outside the womb, and majority of which happen in this fallopian tube, and some of them can be flushed out, so you have them in the pouch or Douglas, some abdominal pregnancies. Nevertheless, what we are talking here is not just because this happened. This thing can lead to the death of this woman, because you can see a lot of them bleed torrentially and feed up the stomach, and you see them just panting for breath. If nothing is done as quickly as possible to arrest that very bleeding, that woman can die. But it's a preventable death. We can't afford to be losing our women on things that are preventable, majority of which ignorant based. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
Welcome back. You are still on You and Your Health. I remain your friend, Dr. Richard Okoye, and we're hitting it hard on the road of turning things around for our people by making this medical terminology that have been so bogus for anybody to understand and bringing it in your own language. Those things that your academic qualification may have denied you, you have the opportunity of getting it in this station. I encourage you, be part of this very meeting. Support this very program to be on. We have enough, and we believe that it's a reality for 2025. Nigerian life expectancy should go up. Okay, now we are going further into the issue that has to look at bleeding during pregnancy. We've ruled out the early one, which is the issue of ectopic pregnancy, but you can have the one that is called antepartum hemorrhage arising after 28 weeks of pregnancy. And that one, there are two major ones that could happen. That one could happen on what is called placenta previa. Now, can you have a look at this so that we appreciate it very well? I showed us this thing last time, that normally placenta is where the baby gets all the blood supply, oxygen supply, food supply, and all that. And this particular location, you find that this very thing is called placenta, attached to the wall of the womb, and then come through the what is called umbilical cord and goes to the baby. All right? It's very interesting, and get you together. This usually located away from this lower side of the cervix down the vagina, where the baby will come out. All right? So in that particular case, you find that the location is usually the opposite, the fundal area. Be that as it may, it could happen that it can have what is called placenta previa. Placenta previa in the sense that this particular woman may have, unfortunately, in that particular pregnancy, the placenta may be at the lower segment where the baby is supposed to come out. All right? So you could have this particular one right now. This very baby is fine, but where the baby is supposed to come out, a whole bag of blood is occupying it. This is where it is said that it is contraindication for you to be in position to do vaginal or pelvic examination on this very woman. Because if you put a finger here, you may burst the blood, and this woman can bleed uncontrollably. All right? So this woman should go for cesarean section. You take out the baby and nicely pull out the placenta. In a number of occasions, it may not repeat in the subsequent pregnancy. So the person may even have a chance of getting pregnant in the next one and delivering through vaginal delivery, which means that this is not an absolute indication for cesarean section in subsequent edition. All right? So you could have it also that some occasions it may be a little bit closer. Sometimes towards the pregnancy ending, it may clear off the way. It happens. But by and by, God has provided solution in all cases that the woman should be fine and her baby also should be fine. So this issue of placenta previa is one of the causes of bleeding during pregnancy, and it's something that anybody delivering this woman should be sensitive about to know. You can also have what is called ambrosial placenta. Ambrosial placenta is the one that the placenta that is on the wall of the womb detached before the time, and the bleeding will be inside. That one, usually the baby tends to die if it is not dictated early. All right? So, but such could be bleeding inside and could cause a problem even during the delivery because of the baby, the uterus not able to contract. Most importantly, and the area that we have to be very, very careful, on the issue of saying a woman must, even some will say, don't go to hospital for delivery. You will deliver like a Hebrew woman. Like the pastor that said, it's a sin for a woman to deliver. But yes, some tradition even abhor that. That is a sin. Or something no for you to deliver by cesarean. So you are not a normal woman being. It's not true. Not true at all. So I want you to stay tuned. When I come back, I will show you something that has to do with the postpartum hemorrhage, the commonest cause of maternal mortality in our environment. At what point could intervention be made when you see the ugly thing I want to show you now when it happened? Stay tuned, I will be right back.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
I cannot believe it that this is the same me that came here with not having the hope of being on my feet again, that I can walk again like a normal human being. I want to thank Doctors Save a Life Foundation for this wonderful work. To God and to God only be the glory.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
Welcome back. You are still on You and Your Health, and we have a deep exposure to share with us when it has to do behind the scene. Those things that your doctor know that he may not have told you, that form part of his decision of saying, hey, madam, something is going to happen and something need to happen fast. Have you been in a situation where a doctor during delivery and all of a sudden, as they struggle and begin to add that the womb ought to be removed? What is wrong? Is it not an act of incompetency that a doctor that could be in position, they say they have to deliver, and all of them, the doctor is saying that womb has to be gone? A very painful thing anyway, and of course not something anybody could accept. But I will tell you one of the ugly things, which is the commonest cause of maternal mortality in our environment, and that has to do with what is called intrapartum hemorrhage and postpartum hemorrhage. Because sometimes both cases, they don't have a very sharp line, and that has to do with the issue we have already discussed, that when there is an abnormal placenta location, the person even during delivery, you may meet bleeding also. But the one that is so worrisome, that most times when they talk about the third stage of labor, is that having delivered the baby, after cutting the umbilical cord, just hold it gently and gently. The placenta will just follow you freely and come out. That is in a normal circumstance. In a normal circumstance, you can deliver a woman anywhere, provided all things being equal. You deliver the baby, you grab the umbilical cord, shake a little, it comes out. Delivery is over. Be that as it may, there could be a worst case scenario happening in an undefined and undetermined cases. What do I mean by that? There could be a scenario where this is the wall of the womb and the placenta is attached. It's not something that the grip is not so strong, you pull. Unfortunate situation on what is called placenta accreta. Placenta accreta is the one that instead of just attaching inside the wall of the womb, it may now grow a little inside the wall and get grabbed. So in that very case, you may not be able to pull it. You try to pull it, you find out that the placenta can't come out. Man, it's a very serious situation. As an advanced form of placenta accreta, you can have what is called a placenta increta. Increta is the one that grows beyond this very wall and go into the muzzle of the womb. Look at this. This is the womb itself. This very one, I just want you to have a look at it. There's a muzzle of the womb that's inner lining where the baby normally stays. This very placenta sometimes may grow just on that and go into this very muscle. So it will become very firm. Most times to bring out, it will be coming out in pieces. And that time it's coming out in pieces, it could be terribly, the bleeding could be something else. Alright. And you could also have a scenario where the placenta can grow from here, enter this muscle, and go out. That's what is called pancreata. In a situation, it can even grow into the neighboring must into neighboring structures. A very horrible situation at that point. If nothing is done, that woman will bleed to death. And that's why I want to call upon traditional birth attendants to have a maternity in a situation where you are having a challenge during the third stage of labor. Don't act. Don't show to be you a Superman. There's nothing. The life of that woman is at stake. Quick to any nearby hospital where you have gynaes that could be available. There could be anesthetists, and also being in position to support to see how that womb can be salvaged. Because sometimes now it may require a manual removal of that placenta, and it's something that is professionally done. All right. So such a situation where you can have placenta accreta, placenta increta, or placenta pancreta, any of these could cause serious hemorrhage. And in a situation where the thing has grown beyond the muscle and going deep, the bleeding may continue. And at that time, doctor will balance two critical decisions. This woman may have had her children before, but now at the point of death, what do we do? Okay, we need to remove this uterus now. But we need to sign a consent for me to be able to do that. The doctor said, the man, try. The man will now say, no, please don't touch that womb. Don't touch that womb. Try. And the doctor will be trying against all. And lo and behold, the bleeding. Have you ever heard about somebody that delivered and transfused 10 pints of blood, 20 pints of blood? That is what happened. Very unfortunate issue. All right. So at that point, you should be able to get this very picture I'm showing you today. That much more than we know could happen during delivery, and that's why it's important. Even when you register for antenatal somewhere, always look for another hospital. Even if it is a teaching hospital, get also. If you don't have money for private hospital, if you don't have money as assumed for private hospital, don't say no. The money. Government has also provided and supported teaching hospital with doctors, all to save lives. Important segment of our healthcare, important segment of our economy, because where there is no health, where there is no life, there is no mansion, no car, nothing will be very beneficial. The issue of intrapartum hemorrhage or can advance further or what is called postpartum hemorrhages. At that point, the baby has come out, but now there's a problem. That last one has to do with what is called uterine atony. Uterine atony in the sense that the womb usually, after delivery, it starts contracting. And that's why, by reason of wisdom, you see doctors giving either EGOT or Oxytocin or whatever that is available to help shrink or help to contract that womb. Because the more the womb contracts, the more it will start sealing up blood bleeding vessels. Then very important that the womb is supposed to contract. But some occasion, something may happen that very womb could not be in position to contract. That womb will not be in position to contract. The woman will be bleeding and bleeding. The doctor will try to stimulate the womb, try to give everything. That womb is just flabby. It doesn't want to contract. At that very point in time, that is another occasion where if nothing is done, that woman can bleed to death. Doctor may balance two worst case scenarios. And sometimes may prescribe. We may need to, having made this very effort, to take up this womb. Let this woman be alive, be there for her children. And a number of occasions, Father, they must have one or two. Very painful for me to tell you. A couple that already had 3 children, unfortunately, the woman had what is called adenomyosis. You know, adenomyosis is different from fibroid. That is the one that makes a woman to bleed every month with severe pain. In some occasion, it could be so horrific that hysterectomy may be recommended. And lo and behold, the woman will be bleeding and paper white, no blood. They will rush this woman to hospital. Sometimes they transfuse 5 pints of blood, they transfuse 3 pints of blood, and the woman she will now pour again, and they will just transfuse. The woman was crying. Please, let us take out this uterus womb as the doctor recommended. The man said that nobody will do that. The man is speaking, not the woman dying. And he said, no, nobody should touch that thing. We should consider any other alternative. In that alternative, one day this woman bled, nobody was around, and she was stone dead. She bled and collapsed, bled, and she was stone dead. Before people will come, she was gone. And you know the irony of it? The man was already married to another woman. That one is gone. The children has become slaves in their father's house. And that's why I want to encourage women. Your health should be very, very paramount to you, because your presence in that home is the only reason why your children are not slaves in their father's house. The decision of issue that a woman may have hypertension in pregnancy, and the woman will say, no. And the man will say, no, don't let us carry the baby. And the BP will be going, and this one will be dying. Tomorrow he will marry another person. It's not part of the pain. I want to encourage our men to be compassionate. I don't blame you because you don't actually know what pregnancy is all about, but be compassionate that the life of your wife is so precious more than children. So precious more than any other thing. Precious. And that's why I want to encourage everyone to be part of this very campaign. Whatever you get today, share it to all. Together, that life expectancy we are coming up with is the reality. God bless you as I see you again.